Welcome to the top 5 sports callers of the week. Number 5.
Joseph from Frisco, Texas, joined the Ben and Skin Show on 105.3 The Fan in Dallas to say that he doesn't want the Cowboys to re-sign Greg Hardy.
No, and no. Big problems, big headache, not worth it financially. I'd like the Cowboys to be more fiscally responsible, use their resources on a replacement for Doug Free, and just draft somebody, go with young blood. He never did anything except for the first game. He was invisible until the sideline drama. We don't need it. He costs too much butt pain.
Okay, hold on a second, though. I like the way you worded that. But before we move on, you said you want the Cowboys to be more fiscally responsible. If we told you that Greg Hardy's deal didn't prevent them from doing anything else and was an incentive-laden deal, would that change your opinion on wanting Greg Hardy back?
Nope.
Right.
It can't happen because he had incentives this year and he didn't need it. So I don't want to do it anymore. I'm tired of it. I'm tired of the face painting drama. It doesn't work. He's just a waste of time. I'd rather move on with some young players that care about ball, who really want to make a name for themselves, and be known for the right reasons and not the wrong reasons.
Number 4.
Marc from Detroit called into Valenti and Foster on 97.1 The Ticket in Detroit because he believes the Lions can win a Super Bowl with Matt Stafford.
All right, given what I have a short answer and a long answer, but the short answer is no, I would reject the deal.
Okay.
Because I look at a team like the Rams. Now, when they traded the pick for RG3 away, they got a boatload of picks, and they're no better than they were several years ago. But they ain't getting closer to the playoffs without a quarterback. You got to have a quarterback that's at least good enough to start in the NFL. And I believe Stafford is good enough to start in the NFL, good enough to give you a chance.
Can you win a Super Bowl with Matthew Stafford?
I think if you have a good enough team and a good enough coaching staff, yes, you can.
Sounds like we got another Nani on the line. No, that's okay. Mark is saying, but Mark, look, no matter what caveats Mark is putting with it, he's saying you can win a Super Bowl with Stafford. Okay.
Yes. Now, if I look at like Flacco, now I never believed in Flacco, but he certainly won a Super Bowl. I ain't comparing the two, but he won a Super Bowl. Mm-hmm. Not elite, in my opinion.
No.
But my caveat is this. It depends on their scouting. If they scout one of these other quarterbacks who are coming out in the draft, and if they think that that person is good enough to win, like I look at Russell Wilson, I saw him play in college. I thought he was something special. Obviously, they did their homework over there in Seattle. They did their homework. They had belief that he could actually win a game in the NFL, to start in the NFL. If Quinn thinks he can pick the right quarterback in the draft, then do it.
You know what, Mark, without saying it, you're kind of saying you can find a quarterback anywhere that can win a Super Bowl if you have a decent team. So why not kind of start over a little bit with a younger quarterback that's going to cost you less money? You can bring in better pieces.
Number 3.
KJ from the Wisconsin border hopped on the Boers and Bernstein show on 670 The Score in Chicago to tell the guys he thinks the Bears should pay Matt Forte and respect him like they did with Walter Payton.
I think Forte, after Walter Payton, needs to have the most respect. He's been a wonderful member of the Chicago Bears. He put his heart and soul into the Chicago Bears.
So meaning what? They should sign him to what? How much money and how many years?
Franchise him.
Oh, that's really an awful sports thought.
Yeah, you were better off when you were wandering.
Yeah,
when you were meandering about the Wisconsin border.
That's bad news there. That's what you call the old.
Why not franchise him? Try to sign that wide receiver that we have.
No, I think we're gonna end things here because the idea of franchising a 30-year-old running back is not a good one.
Well, how old was Walter?
Walter's dead.
Yeah, I know he's not around no more, but they had respect for Walter, didn't they?
Okay, but you can have all the respect you want, but that's different than spending franchise tag money on a 30-year-old running back.
You know, you guys don't think he's going to be good for 2 or 3 years yet?
Yeah, I actually do.
Some other team will pay him a reasonable amount. There is no good reason for the Bears to pay him what you want him paid.
Number 2.
James from Roswell, Georgia, called into Dukes and Bell on 92.9 The Game in Atlanta with a New Year's resolution for the Atlanta Falcons and GM Thomas Dimitroff.
My New Year's resolution is to get power of attorney from Arthur. I'm not sure how I'm going to do it. The first order of business is to not fire Thomas Dimitroff. I'm going to make him the cycling coach because that seems like the only area of expertise that he has. There's plenty of reasons to fire him as far as draft picks. That's how you judge a GM, it's draft picks. Those numbers speak for themselves. But tell me what decision he has made that has been good for the Atlanta Falcons over the last few years. And I'll give him credit. He had his run early on in the Matt Ryan era. He got him close to the Super Bowl. But it's not a close to the Super Bowl and you get tenure. You're judged every couple of years based on what has panned out. And you cannot, Devontae Freeman is the only glowing spot that I can see from the last few years. Yeah. And I don't want to use the word lucky, but that's a good find. But that's one in the last couple of years. We're going to find out, and we've already seen from the previous 2 years draft, a lot of players aren't on the team. Nonetheless, 2011, 2012, and before. It's just, what does it take to get this man fired? What do I have to do? Do I need to go climb a crane in Midtown? I'll do it.
Number 1.
The top spot goes to John from Robinson, Pennsylvania, who called into the Starkey and Mueller show on 93.7 The Fan in Pittsburgh to tell the guys he's proud of the way the Steelers played against the Bengals.
Are you guys high? If I was the general manager of this radio station, I'd come in that studio and make you guys pee in a cup. Embarrassed? Are you kidding me? I'm proud. We kicked their butts. Joey Porter, I'm in love with Joe. I have the biggest man crush of all time on Joey Porter.
John, you must have missed the part where I said, as I asked the question, if I were a fan, I wouldn't be embarrassed. But are you? Did you miss that little caveat thrown in at the beginning of the question?
Joe, you caught me with my pants down. I missed the caveat.
Ew.
But if you're from Pittsburgh, you should be nothing but proud. Let's start this whole escapade. Starts with one Vontaze Burfict, a punk thug criminal. And if you think that's a racist comment, bite me. Bill Romanowski was a punk thug criminal, and that's who Vontaze Burfict reminds me of. It starts with him. He hurt our star running back twice. He almost blew out Ben's knee in the last game. He's a punk thug criminal. He should be removed from the league and never to be. He's a first-round talent and nobody drafted. And Tony Dungy hit the nail on the head. It starts at the tippy top. It goes over Marvin Lewis's head. You know, the Bengals keep bringing these punk thug criminals like Pac-Man Jones in. And what do you think is going to happen eventually? And we saw that. The Steelers did themselves proud. Munchak's a stud. I'm in love with Joey Porter. I'm proud to be a Pittsburgh Steelers
I'd
fan.
love to hear this call if it went the other way at the end, John.
Good point by you, Joe. Would have been ugly.
Exactly.
Tune in every week to hear the wildest callers and the wittiest banter as CBS Local Sports brings you the top 5 sports callers of the week.